Hi everybody, Larry here. Welcome to Travel Guide and Photography. If you're new to the channel, welcome and I hope you enjoy it. If you're returning to the channel, thank you and welcome back. This is the fourth video of a 7-part series on cruising to Alaska in the Inside Passage. The previous videos were on itineraries, Ketchikan and Juneau, which I hope you enjoyed. The next video we will discuss the glaciers of the Inside Passage, those that you see from the ship and those that you can see from select shore excursions. After that, we will finish the series with videos on my favorite shore excursions and one on wildlife. Now again, let's get this out of the way right up front. I do not want to sound like a know-it-all, because there's a lot I don't know about Alaska. However, when it comes to cruising, I don't think there are many that know much more than I do. And that is only because of my experience. I am crew. If you took the time to see the Why Watch video, you know that for the past 11 years, I've lived and worked on cruise ships. And for 8 years in the summer, I have been in Alaska. This gives me a very unique perspective. So with that said, let's explore the possibilities of Skagway, Alaska. Skagway is located at the north end of the Taya Inlet, the northernmost fjord on the Inside Passage. We will discuss Haines, which lies just across the inlet and where you travel for many of the shore excursions. Some of the ships will actually dock in Haines instead of Skagway. Skagway is my favorite port on the Inside Passage itineraries. It is very small, with a population of just over 1,000 residents, most of which that leave after the summer season. The average temperature is in the mid-60s and an annual rainfall of just over 1 inch. Skagway has the overall best weather of all the ports. There's only one main street, Broadway, and if you take your time to walk all 7 blocks and don't stop to shop, you can walk from one end of town to the other end in around 10 minutes. There are 2 piers where the ships dock in Skagway, and both of them are about a 10-minute walk from Broadway. As in my previous videos on Ketchikan and Juneau, first let's touch on some of my favorite places to eat and places to shop. Then we will discuss tours and shore excursions. Skagway has a wide variety of restaurants to choose from. My very favorite is Mexico, located at the far end of Broadway. I've been traveling to Baja, Mexico for close to 50 years, and I love authentic Mexican food. I've eaten at almost every Mexican restaurant in all the ports, and I consider this to be the best. The company actually sent the chef to Mexico to learn how to cook authentic cuisine. Mexico serves 10 different tacos and burritos to soups, salads, and a variety of main entrees. You will find the food is great, the service is fast, and the staff is friendly. Next for me would be the Starfire Cafe on 4th, just a block off of Broadway. This small cafe is a favorite of crew and locals alike for Thai food. The menu is complete with appetizers, soups, and salads to a variety of stir fries, curries, and noodle dishes, along with a handful of house specialties. The Skagway Brewing Company is located next door to Starfire. Here you'll find a diverse menu of soups and salads to chicken wings and burgers, and pasta to fresh seafood, along with its own line of craft beer. Gold Digger Wine and Dine on 5th is also a favorite. If you've never had Filipino food, now is your chance. Be forewarned, it is busy. Many of the crew are Filipino and they know great Filipino food. If you're unfamiliar with Filipino food, this typically includes beef, pork, fish, or shrimp with noodles and rice. My favorite is Topslog, which is marinated beef topped with a fried egg on a bed of garlic rice. Be bold, be adventurous, and give it a try. I'm sure you'll love it. If you're looking for a quick bite, give Glacial Smoothies and Espresso a try. It has an in-house bakery serving cookies, muffins, and cakes, and a breakfast menu with a variety of bagels, burritos, and croissants, along with sandwiches and wraps for lunch. Now let's talk a little bit about shopping in Skagway. Broadway has a number of shops for you to explore, beginning with corporate stores and jewelry shops. You will find everything from gifts and trinkets to clothing in almost every store. There are even a few small art galleries in town. My favorite is Broadway Jewelry and Gifts, located on the corner of 5th and Broadway. It is a 3rd-generation store and has been in Skagway for 20 years. Here you will find one-of-a-kind pieces using natural gemstones, a large variety of estate fine jewelry, and a unique line of custom gold nugget jewelry. There are many types of gifts available, including hand-blown glass to arts and prints and Alaskan ulu knives. They even carry my book and some of my photographs for sale. Now I know what you're thinking. Of course it's his favorite. They carry his book and his photographs. The reason I have my book and my photographs for sale there is I wanted to be in the best store in town. After carrying my book for a year, I was approached and asked if I would also like to supply photographs for sale. This was because people were asking for my prints after seeing my book. I was honored to be asked, and the owner Kathy Sheen and I have become good friends over the years. Honestly, her prices are fair and the quality is top drawer. Another favorite place is the Back Alley Rock Shop and the owner Steve. I don't know Steve and only found out his name this past week when I was talking to Kathy about the upcoming season in Alaska. It's just a great little shop set off of Broadway in an alley, thus Back Alley Rock Shop. It's located between 4th and 5th Streets and is a little hard to find, but well worth the effort. The shop is the perfect place for any rock hound, and you will find everything from gifts and jewelry to gems, fossils, meteorites, and gold nuggets. Now let's explore the possibility of Skagway's tours and shore excursions. Again, a couple things to consider. You want to take a ship-sponsored tour or one you found online or on the dock. They all have their advantages and disadvantages. If you book through the ship, you are assured it will be there when you return. If you book online or from one of the many vendors on the pier and the tour runs late, you are on your own. Typically in Alaska, this is not too much of a problem as most of the tours are relatively close to the ship, but not in Skagway. I have taken many excursions to Haines, which is about a 45-minute ferry ride from Skagway. One night on the way back, one of the ferry's engines broke down. We had to limp back to port and we arrived about 90 minutes late. If this was not a ship-sponsored tour, we would have found an empty dock and no ship waiting, and we would have had to find our way to the next port to catch the ship. Another consideration is cost. Usually tours booked through the ship are a little bit more expensive, but again, you have the peace of mind that the ship will be there when you return. One of my hands-down favorite tours in all of Alaska can be found in Skagway. It's a flight scene tour with mountain flying service. Pilot Paul Swanstrom offers an unforgettable experience with 3 different flights. They include a 1-hour flight over the east arm of Glacier Bay National Park, a 1.3 hour over the west arm, and a 2-hour grand flight over the Glacier Bay National Park to the Pacific Ocean. I've done the first 2 flights a number of times, and I plan on the grand tour flight next. On the flight, you will see a number of glaciers as they make their way to the ocean, and there will be snow-covered mountains as far as the eye can see. We even spotted bear and mountain goats. Depending on the time of year, you can even schedule landing on a glacier or a remote beach. Believe me, it is well worth the price, and I will certainly do it again. One of the favorites of many is the White Pass and Yukon Railway. Tracing the steps from Skagway's pioneers, the train in its vintage parlor cars climbs nearly 3,000 feet to White Pass, where it crosses into Canada's Yukon Territory on this nearly 3-hour-long tour. You'll cross over train trestles and through tunnels along the way. In the spring, you are greeted by white blankets of snow, and in the summer, the mountains are covered with wildflowers. I've done both seasons and was equally impressed. There are a number of different train tours you can take in Skagway. I would suggest taking a tour on the train on the way up and a bus on the way back, stopping at Liarsville for a salmon bake. They even have a tour where you can take the train to the top and then bicycle back down the hill to Skagway. For those seeking a bit of adventure, try the Grizzly Falls zip-lining expedition. Boarding the bus at the ship, you'll travel 30 minutes to the historic ghost town of Dyea, where you will continue on to Grizzly Falls and climb the mountain to base camp. After a safety talk, you'll put on the gear and you'll be off on your 90-minute adventure through the rainforest. You will travel back to camp on 11 different zip lines over streams and through the forest. For those that you want to explore the town of Skagway itself, there are a number of tours, including the Days of '98 show. Since 1923, this vaudevillian musical recounts Skagway's gold rush days. complete with the legend of the notorious Soapy Smith and Can-Can girls kicking up their heels. I mentioned Haines briefly, and I have not spent a lot of time there other than on excursions, all of which either start or end with a 45-minute high-speed ferry ride either to or from Haines. It's a very scenic ride, and you will pass a number of waterfalls as you travel across the inlet. Eagle Preserve and Wildlife Quest is a wonderful adventure. Upon arrival in Haines, you board a bus for a 40-minute ride to the Chilkat Bald Eagle Preserve. Your journey begins when you board an 18-foot inflatable raft with an expert guide. Keep your camera ready because at any moment wildlife might appear, including eagles, bear, and moose. One favorite in Haines is the Chilkoot Wilderness and Wildlife Viewing Tour. I have taken this tour a number of times, and I've always seen Kodiak brown bears. After the ferry ride to Haines, you board a bus and are taken to the Chilkoot Lake State Park. It's a short ride along the shoreline, and you will reach the turnout to the Chilkoot River and Chilkoot Lake. You'll spend approximately 2 hours there, and I've seen bears at both the lake and the stream. Arriving back in town, you'll be given a short historic tour from the bus before boarding the ferry. Another favorite of mine is the Crowshell Films Wildlife Center tour in Haines. A total of the tour is a little over 6 hours, including the ferry and bus ride to the refuge. You will have plenty of time to see and photograph a variety of wildlife. You will find everything from mink, fox, and porcupines to wolf, moose, reindeer, and even a Kodiak brown bear. Photographers and nature lovers alike will love this tour. One last tour I need to mention in Haines is the Glacier Point Wilderness Safari. Your 45-minute ride on a high-speed custom boat passes Haines. You will arrive and take a short drive to a stream and board a 31-foot canoe with your guide. Then you paddle downstream across a small lake to the Gateson Glacier. Stepping out of the canoe, you are literally at the face of the glacier. You have plenty of time to take photos before you journey back to the ship. I just scratched the surface, and you can see there are many tours to take in Skagway and Haines. I think you can see why Skagway is my favorite port. The weather is great, there's great food, and there's so much to do there. The goal of the channel is that you might benefit from my experiences and advice, and I hope these suggestions helped you. I've also authored a book entitled Alaska and the Inside Passage, a guide to the ports, tours, and shore excursions, which I discuss the ports in a little more detail. It also has 36 large photographs for you to enjoy. It can be found at a few stores in Alaska, along with some of my photographs that are for sale. Or you can email me for a copy. I'll leave a link. If you have enjoyed travel guide and photography, please subscribe. Please hit the bell to be notified of my next post, and please hit the like button. If you have any comments or questions, please list them below. I promise I will answer each and every one of them. If there's a place you're thinking about going and I have not done a video, please let me know that too. I've been to over 80 countries, and if I've been there, I'll post a video for you. Again, thank you for visiting Travel Guide and Photography, and let's explore the possibilities of traveling the world together. As crew, my posts and my opinions are my own. I do not represent the cruise line or the company I work for in any manner. Thank you.